If you're watching the replay on YouTube, you can skip ahead a little bit. Come in, come in. Good morning. Happy Monday. Good morning, Marlo. The sun is like right there in the corner of my window. Come in, come in. I have 2 surprises today, but we're going to wait just a second. How was everybody's week? Good morning, Miss Molly. How was your week? How was your weekend? I hope it was good. We're going to get started in just a minute. Hey, Miss Jennifer. Happy Monday. Happy Monday. If you're new here, this is my hair. This is our weekly Tarotscope. This is where we get together and we find out what's coming up for us throughout the week, because why not, right? We need to know what energy we have to work with, what energy is potentially coming up that we can see as something that is maybe a learning process for us or something to avoid, that kind of thing. So this is why we do the weekly Tarotscope. Good morning. I'm just waiting on someone to arrive before we get started. Actually, what we can do first is we can go ahead and balance our heart chakra. Okay, let's do the singing bowl right quick. And I'm going to wait for someone to arrive and then we'll get started with the reading, okay? So, all you're going to do as the bowl is singing is you're going to relax and you're going to release any of the stresses that you had last week, right? We have a lot of energy building up to today, which is the full moon, right? Full moons, we release. We let things manifest as they need to, right? Don't forget to set out your crystals and make your moon water. There she is. Okay, so we're going to sing. No, we're not going to sing. We're going to listen to the bowl sing. There's Miss Jamie. She's going to join us on the TikTok Live. Ooh, you look gorgeous. I like your hair. Let me turn this up. Let me turn this up so YouTube can hear as well. Okay, so what we're going to do, like I said, is we're going to let the bowl sing. We're going to balance out our heart chakra, and then we're going to get started with the reading. And Miss Jamie is going to be with us to go over the astrology, because it never fails. The cards always align with the astrology. And she's in the comments going, yeah, it's happening because of this, this, and this. So we're like, you know what? Let's just go live together, make it a lot easier. So, okay. So let's balance out the heart chakra. Like I said, all you do is just sit and relax. Take nice deep breaths in the nose, out the mouth. We're going to breathe in the goodness. We're going to release the negativity. Okay? Here we go. Relax your shoulders. Relax your jaw. Now let's all collectively take one super deep breath in. Pick up all that heaviness, pick up all the anxiety and fear, and let's let it go. Let's get rid of that. We do not need it. Okay. Now we can get started with the reading. So I was telling them, you know, we have the full moon today. So do you want to go over that right quick? And then we'll get our blessing.
We actually have 2 things happening today. So Mercury, can you guys hear me okay? I have my Bluetooth in.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. Mercury is moving into Scorpio. So Mercury is the planet of thoughts, ideas, communication, messages, and it's moving into a very deep and intense sign. Scorpio is very much about discovering what is underneath. So our tone of conversation, our thoughts and our ideas may actually take on a theme of maybe a little darker tone, maybe something that's a little bit just more in depth. Like superficial conversations are probably not going to suffice right now. We're going to want to ask, why is this happening? What's going on? What's happening underneath the surface? So superficial conversations, surface level things are just going to be not really a desire. And then we have the full moon within the sign of Aries happening. It's peaking at like 11:45 Eastern Standard Time, Central Standard Time. That'll be around like 10:45.
Okay.
And this moon is, I feel like this moon is more about, because its ruler is in Scorpio right now, Mars in Scorpio is about like strategic action, whereas Mars naturally in Aries is just kind of quick action. It's impulsive action. But Mars is currently sitting in Scorpio, so its ruler, kind of this theme of this full moon is going to be a lot about how can you discover this empowerment within yourself? How can you discover this theme of wanting to take your power back? Right? Like how have we been forsaking ourselves for the sake of harmony and peace? Since the moon is going to be opposing the sun in Libra, and Libra is all about keeping the peace and making sure things are balanced and harmony and aesthetics and making sure things look good, and at times we can forsake our own authenticity, our own selves for the sake of peace. So this moon is really going to, I think, be revealing where you've been giving your power away, and maybe ask yourself, why am I afraid to stand up for myself? Why am I afraid to advocate for myself? What am I afraid of losing? Am I afraid of rocking the boat? Am I afraid it won't make me look good? Am I afraid that if I do, I'm going to be standing out here all by myself, all alone, with no support system? So this moon is going to be bringing a lot up around the themes of like courage and self-empowerment.
I like that, because I feel like that type of energy right there is what blocks a lot of people from their success. Fear of what other people are going to think, do, or say. I made a post in one of the moms groups locally last night or yesterday about still having a few available dates for events. People will hire me for corporate parties or their Halloween events or even weddings sometimes to be their tarot reader. And some of the moms in there like lost their minds because like, you're promoting witchcraft and and I at first was like, okay, and then I was like, you know what, whatever. And I told them, I was like, you can believe whatever you like whatever. I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you, right? And so I stood my ground, but then all of a sudden some other women started like supporting and reiterating what I was saying. And so if I had been too afraid to put myself out there, then nobody would ever know. So we have to think about that whenever we are wanting to do something. It doesn't have to be business-wise. It could be relationships. It can be just any type of opportunities. Like if we're too afraid to put ourselves out there because of what other people are going to say or think or whatever, we are stunting our entire journey on this planet. And we're making ourselves miserable for the sake of somebody else's comfort or because somebody else has a bad attitude. Like, no. So I like that this full moon is bringing that up. And, it's like, you know what? Let's let go of our fear of other people. So.
And so the moon itself is happening at the 14th degree. Well, when we look at each of the 30 degrees of a sign is broken up into 3 decans or decans. And each decan has its own kind of ruler, which is like, it's for this one, the 14th degree turns out to be the 3 of Wands, which is kind of like divine timing and faith, like having faith that your ships are going to come in.
Yeah.
And I think that that's also a big theme. When I did the YouTube reading, the oracle card was have faith. And I think it's more about, because it's Aries, it's faith in yourself.
Yeah.
right? Do you have enough faith in yourself to know that you're capable, to know that you can combat anything that comes your way, or to just have enough faith in yourself to know that you can do this, whatever it is, if you choose to.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, I love that. All right, cool. Well, let's get our blessing for the week, and then we're going to get our overall tarot card for the week, and then y'all will pick the deck that I use. So, okay, what is our blessing for this week? What is our blessing for this week? Ooh, I like this one, the blessing of Queen Mab. I mean, she is that energy of power, right? I'm going to show YouTube and then TikTok. Look at her. I'll read it to you.
Look at those wings.
I know.
They look like fire.
Uh-huh. It's number 39, so there's that 3 of Wands, right? The 3, the expression. 9 is that higher wisdom. And we bring it together, it makes a higher vibrational 3. So let's see. Okay. The fairy gift of being the ruler of your own world. Such an Aries thing. With this fairy gift from the formidable and enchanting fairy queen, Queen Mab, comes the blessing of being the owner of your own life. This is a powerful blessing indeed, for with this blessing comes the most precious gift of all, that of knowing that your life is yours to live. With this blessing, let you now take up the reins of your life. Let you decide what it is you do and who it is you are and who you are now becoming. It is your life, this wild and sweet thing to be lived only once, and it is rare and priceless. You shall no longer be owned, nor forced, nor pushed, nor pulled, for with her gift comes the solidity of determining your own fate. For you are a being who has often been pressured to give away the crown that declares that you are the sovereign. With this blessing, it is returned to you. Let yourself be a queen, a king, and know your world is as great as any other person's. Your life is a jewel, and no more shall you spend it pleasing others. With this blessing comes to you all who know you will love and... Oh, okay, sorry. All who you know you will love and support you. That's a weird sentence. And you will now take back the power that you gave away. You will climb the stairs of your throne and look upon your world and know that you will be a strong leader of your own soul, and you will inspire others to do the same. With this gift from Queen Mab will come the sure knowledge of what is wise for you to do and what would be foolish, and to know the difference between pleasing others and doing what is in the very best interest of the path of your soul. You, fairy friend, are a magnificent being, and your life, your world, and your very being are royal. Be most loyal to your own self, and know now the gift of great and deep self-respect and of choosing what is right for you. Blessings of the great and good Queen Mab to you, friend. I mean, could that be more perfect?
I know.
I love it. Because, you know, that Aries energy is a very strong energy. And it wants to rule, but when there's that opposing energy of maybe past trauma from other people, or just, you know, being programmed by society to fear what other people think or say or do, you hide that, and then it winds up creating this this discourse within yourself, and then you start creating disease, right? Because you've held all of this in, and it's not fair. It's not right. You're allowed to express yourself and live your life just like anybody else. So I love that. Very powerful card for a very powerful time.
As you were talking, it kind of reminds me of this saying that I recently heard, and I think it describes the polarity between Aries and Libra perfectly, is that it's either too much, or like I'm too much, or I'm not enough. People think that the scales, it's always one or the other.
Yeah.
But when we consistently swing from one extreme to the next, we're always out of balance. And the thing about the polarities is that there's always a central theme that kind of like ties them together. And I think with Aries and Libra, it is about the self.
Yeah.
Aries is me, but Libra is me with others. It's me with others.
Yeah.
Right? So the central core theme for the two of them is the self. How am I with other people? And then how am I with myself? So it doesn't have to be one or the other.
Yeah. I like that, because also in the Fool's Journey, which some of y'all are learning because you're in my Fool's Journey module, you see that, you know, this Mars energy, this Aries energy is in the Emperor, right? He's in the top line. He's in the material world. The Libra energy is in Justice. It's in the middle line. It's in the internal world. So yes, 100%. It's like this outward influence and this inner influence kind of like tugging at each other, and they're both you. So absolutely, 100%. Okay. So let's get our overall tarot card for the week. This is the divination book. It is my book that I wrote. It has all the tarot cards in it, direct and reverse. And these readings are to inspire you to take your power back, okay? So they are written for the goddess, but if you're not a goddess, if you're a dude, that's okay. You can still take the message. It's called Mystic Muses for the Modern Goddess. And TikTok, you can find it linked in my bio. YouTube, you can find it linked below, okay? So all you're going to do is you're going to treat it like a tarot deck, okay? You're going to knock on it. Then you're going to, because we're cleansing all the energy off, just like we would a tarot deck. Then we're going to connect to it with our energy centers in our palms, okay? We're going to take a nice deep breath. We're going to bring the energy to calmness. And we're going to ask the book, what is our overall message for this week? What is our overall message for this week? What is our overall message for this week? And then we're going to intuitively turn to a page. Oh, we got the Ace of Wands. There we go. Speaking of fiery energy.
Nice.
Okay. So these are written for the day, but you can see it as the week, the month, whatever, okay? So it says, today you drew the Ace of Wands. Can you feel the excitement in the air? It is a week full of new, fresh energy. Follow your intuition and allow it to guide you to new opportunities. Trust yourself and trust in the universe. There is so much power and creativity surrounding you this week. Use it. Ride the wave and enjoy this new adventure. How fitting for a full moon, right? We're coming to this culmination and then we're starting fresh, right? Especially with the fiery energy. So it's almost like the cards know. It's almost like they talk to one another and say, hey, we're talking about this today. Okay, so let's pick our tarot deck. Number one, I don't know. Let me see if I can do the poll again. Okay, you should be able to see it right up here on TikTok, right up there, that little blue thing. You can vote there. It gives us a couple of minutes to vote. So deck one, the Light Seers Tarot, or deck two, the Pulp Tarot. YouTube, y'all vote in the comments. Please only vote one time. That way we can keep track. So deck one or deck two. I'm so proud of myself that I figured out that poll. I've been doing this for years and never could figure it out. Deck one or deck two?
I guess because I'm live, it won't let me vote.
Oh, really?
That's okay.
Oh, boo.
Yeah, I was like trying to hit the button and I was like, oh, all right.
Okay, YouTube so far is liking deck two, the Pulp Tarot. I don't know how much time.
I was
Just a few
drawn to
more
that
seconds.
myself.
Were you?
Yeah, which is surprising. I love the Light Seers deck.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
my eye keeps like going over here. It might be the black though.
Maybe. Maybe it's got a little something spicy to tell us. Okay, it should bring up the results somewhere. There it is. Okay. Oh, deck one got it for sure on
Of course.
TikTok. Yeah, always the Light Seers. That's funny.
Always.
Okay, we'll try the Pop Tarot or Pulp Tarot some other time. Sorry, YouTube. Okay. Whoops. When we get more YouTube viewers, then y'all can rival TikTok. But until now, or until then, TikTok will always outweigh. All right. Let's find out what is coming up for us this week. I'm going to pull one card for each day. We're going to talk about it. We're going to look at the astrology and just see how this plays out in our week, okay? Remember, this is a collective reading. It's going to resonate differently depending on your life, your path, all of that. So I will give you as many interpretations as possible. And also, you have free will to use this energy and to maybe not use it. But if it's difficult times that you're going through, you cannot escape it, okay? You cannot play avoidant because it will chase you like a bloodthirsty hound. It will not give up, right? It's kind of like, you know, like Michael Myers or something like that. Everywhere you go, here they are, just pop up. It's like your own nightmare. I mean, it is Halloween, so. Okay. Don't say that, Patty. I said until your device refuses to work for TikTok. Look, it took me a while this morning to get it to finally cooperate, so yay. All right, what is coming for us this week? What is our energy for each day this week? Monday through Sunday. What do we need to know? All right, for today, ooh, we got the Empress. Speaking of another three, like Three of Wands. And I know for the Aries reading, the threes kept coming up too that you did. So
yeah, it did.
Isn't that funny? We have the Empress, and look, we have that full moon showing up. I'll show YouTube. See, isn't that such a beautiful card? I love this card. I love this deck. See the full moon. So what does that mean? The Empress, she is fertile. She is ready to kind of like give birth to whatever she's been working on, whatever she's been manifesting. Now, for everybody, that's going to look different, okay? Because you know, sometimes we are subconsciously manifesting, which means that we aren't really in control of what we're bringing into our lives. Sometimes we are consciously manifesting and we're like, okay, yeah, here it comes. Things are turning. And with the Empress energy today, this is like a very ripe and potent energy for you to connect to your spiritual self, for you to connect to the earth, for you to connect with the moon. Like, make sure that you're setting your crystals out. Make sure you're making moon water. Make sure you're doing any type of releasing ritual that you can think of. You know, you can't go wrong. This is not the time to plant seeds. This is the time to really kind of weed your garden, right? When the new moon is coming up and it starts filling back up, that's when we're planting the seeds, right? And here we are like harvest moon. We're harvesting things, okay? So the moon is going to bring to light certain aspects of your life. So the Empress, she's that Mother Earth. She is that nurturing type of energy. So what is it that you have been nurturing in your life? Is it positive? Is it negative? How are you? Honestly, today would be a great day to really reflect on how blessed you are. Even if you're going through hard times, it would be a great day for you to really list your blessings and how abundant you actually are, even if you feel like you don't have enough. Does that make sense, y'all? What do you get from it, Jamie?
I like the irony that on a very like Mars ruled day, we get like a Venus card. But I think I agree with what you said. This is about like birthing maybe a new version of yourself. Because again, with the Aries moon, it is about the self. It's how we see ourselves. And it's having this courage and having this faith to step into this new version that maybe you've been gestating on a little bit. Like you've been mulling it over. Who do I want to be? I feel like change needs to occur. I know it needs to occur, but maybe you're struggling to take those steps. And this moon is giving you an opportunity to really understand why, see why, and to really step into that Empress energy to maybe nurture yourself enough to gain that clarity.
Yeah, I love that because she's so creative and she's that feminine energy, and that feminine energy can do anything. So it's like, who are you? Who do you want to be? What are you creating in your life? And if you're not, like, if you're trying to pretend to be somebody else just so you're liked and you're accepted, then you're not going to be able to create because you're in the wrong vibration, right? If you're in your authenticity and you're loving yourself and you're nurturing yourself in your journey and your inner child and all those wonderful things that we all should be doing, then you will manifest exactly what is meant for you, the opportunities, the good health, the abundance, all of that. So yeah, she's abundant because she is in the flow. She knows exactly who she is. She didn't get there by questioning her self-worth. So okay, let's look at Tuesday, tomorrow. Oh, speaking of fiery energy, we have the King of Wands.
Right there.
All right.
There he is.
So the King of Wands is very take charge energy, especially when we have the Ace of Wands showing up too. This is like double fire energy saying, hey, this is the day that you lead by example. This is the day that you decide whatever it is that you are going to do. You are constructing your own life. You're constructing your own journey. You are constructing your own business, your own health, wealth, everything, because he's very like, let me take the lead and let's go, right? He wants to, so whatever you want to take charge of, it's going to be a high energy day tomorrow. And there might even be somebody that you meet tomorrow that is like, let's say you're struggling with something and they come along and they help you. And this would be that masculine energy, like, hey, let me help you. Let me fix something for you, or whatever it may be. Let me show you how to do this. So with the King of Wands, it could be you or another person that you're encountering. And it's just that take charge energy. It's very attractive. It's very, and I don't mean just like sexually attractive. I mean like it's contagiously attractive, right? Where you're like, oh man, I want to do that too. So definitely a high vibrational day. What do you think?
I think so too. And somebody just said in the comments, it's a very creative energy both days. You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
fire is creation. Wands represents creation, building something, and so does the Empress.
Yeah.
So the energy so far is lining up that this is a big week. Your whole week is starting out with an opportunity to create something new and powerful and even passionate for yourself.
Yeah. Love it. All right, let's look at Wednesday. Okay, Wednesday we have the Nine of Swords in reverse. So if you've been having issues sleeping, I typically have issues sleeping around the full moons, whether it be new or full. I have issues. I wake up, have weird dreams, all of that, right? So on Wednesday, there could be like an energy of like you sleep better that night. There is the opportunity to release what has been stressing you out. When we have the Nine of Swords direct, it is all of this going through your mind, swirling all the time, right? And it can cause anxiety and depression, fear, bad dreams, insomnia, all of that. So when we have it in reverse, this is the opportunity to let that fall away. So there could be something that happens on Wednesday where you're like, oh, okay, I can finally breathe. Or like I said, you just get a good night's sleep. Or there could be something that you change because you realize that something is bringing you anxiety. Like listen, if you're participating in something in your life that is bringing you nothing but anxiety, then what are you doing? Like, why? I get it if it's like, as a business owner, anxiety train all the time, right? It's part of it, right? But you have to recognize that. Go ground your energy, put your faith back in the universe, do what is necessary to release that anxiety, right? So that to me is worth it, right? But if you're in relationships that bring you anxiety, if you're in a career that you hate and it's bringing you nothing but depression and anxiety, like what are you doing? Make some changes. So mentally, it'll be a better day on Wednesday if you've been struggling mentally. What do you think?
I agree. I think for me personally, it resonates. Like being a mom, a business owner, like I'm consistently doing things every single moment. Like my daughter, she was like, "You just get to stay home," and I'm like, "That's not what I'm doing.
Right.
That's not what I'm doing." And so at night, I listen to my books or I watch a show that I like, and I've been consistently staying up entirely too late. And that was one of the things that came up with the collective reading when it came to the full moon in Aries. It's like, where are you giving your power away? And it can be something as simple as staying up too late on social media when we're doing things that kind of are counterintuitive to what we know we need to do.
Yep.
Or they're counterintuitive to the changes I know I need to get more sleep.
Don't
it's
we
just
all?
healthier for me as an individual. It's just, I know I need to get more sleep, but like I want that time to myself. I want that time to just kind of indulge in the things that I enjoy, but it's getting to the point where things that we enjoy can become a detriment. We don't need them. We don't want them to become a detriment.
Right.
So where are we giving our power away? And the swords coming out on Wednesday is ruled by Mercury.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Wednesday is a Mercury ruled day, and with Mercury being in Scorpio, there may be something that comes up that is allowing you to be like, oh, I understand now. And it allows that anxiety to tamper down.
Yeah, because think about it. There was some, like when we look in front of the Nine of Swords is the Eight of Swords. The Eight of Swords is your own self-imprisonment, and typically that is your mental imprisonment. That is something that has been programmed into your mind one way or the other, and it's your job to break out of that, because if you don't, then you go to the Nine, right? The Nine is that anxiety, insomnia, depression, all of that, right? And then it leads to the 10 where you're like, I just can't freaking take this anymore, and it's like something's got to give. So yeah, on Wednesday for sure, there could be this place where you're like, okay, yeah, I get it now. I see the light. I know that I need to make this change, and I'm doing something that's going to better my experience. But yeah, I think with, the indulgence in the things that we love, yeah, we do have to walk that line of don't do too much. Don't escape into those things, because it's very easy to do so, whether it be social media or even just like the self-help stuff. Like you really can escape into that stuff and forget about, you got to have balance between, what the world we live in and our spiritual world. We cannot escape one or the other. That's when things start going awry. So yeah. All right, let's look at Thursday. Thursday, we have the King of Swords in reverse. Not my favorite card. Okay. So when the King of Swords is in reverse, it can be a masculine person, a masculine energy who is very narrow-minded, somebody that you come across that is narcissistic. It can mean that your mental focus is way too narrow on that day. It's like, well, no, I know better. And the universe is like, are you sure about that? Let me show you. And that's when things start like really getting crazy. Okay. So just be aware that there may be somebody that you encounter. This could be in your social circle. It could be collectively, where we see this person who is, like I said, very narrow-minded, could be narcissistic, somebody that thinks they know better, and it's just best not to engage. Right? There's no opening their mind at this point, okay? But if this is you, just be aware that there is a potential for you to be a little bit maybe on edge mentally. Again, narrow-minded. There might be something that somebody presents to you and you're like, no, I know better. It's this way, this way, this way. But the most intelligent people realize that they're not the most intelligent. You have to stay open. You have to be aware that sometimes we can be seeing things in the wrong way, or what I'm saying, like things get twisted. So just make sure that you keep that open mind and you're looking at what is true, not what you want to be true. Because one of the things that, one of the toxic things in the spiritual community is like, well, I just don't believe in that, so I'm just going to ignore it. It's like, well, just because you don't believe in it does not mean it's not true. Right? So we have to be very careful with what we are going along with when it comes to our spiritual journey. Because there is a lot of spiritual bypassing. There is a lot of spiritual egoism. There is a lot of spiritual narcissism. There is a lot of manipulation happening. So you have to be aware that yes, we are creators. Yes, we do manifest our world, but there are also spiritual laws. There's also energy that we are working with, and they react in certain ways, and we need to understand that. So, and we also came to this life to have these certain experiences, and it's not like you can just bypass them. That is not okay. So, what do you think?
The King of Swords, he's ruled by Aquarius, right? He's associated with Aquarius energy. Pluto is preparing to station direct after being retrograde for a couple of months, and Pluto is currently retrograde in Aquarius. Anytime you guys hear Aquarius, you can just, for the next like 20 years, just assume Pluto is involved somehow. But yeah, I mean, it could be that, like you said, it's this I know better, because that's Aquarius's motto. I know. I know. But that narrow-minded thinking, especially when something is retrograde, it's being internalized, or it's coming from an internal place. Being challenged, your own thoughts being challenged, can be a very scary thing, whether that is your worldview, you know, what you think you know. That being challenged can be a very scary thing. But with Pluto's involvement, it's trying to get you to understand that learning new things and expanding your mind in some way is actually more strategic than staying narrow in this box.
Yeah.
And with the Nine of Swords in reverse and then the King of Swords, it could just be a lot of anxiety those 2 days, like a lot of anxiety. So, like ground your energy. Stay off social media probably Wednesday and Thursday.
Yeah, definitely.
Those of us who work on social media,
I know.
That's a fine line we have to walk. But
I know.
if you can, maybe stay off social media and just do more like, 90s style things, like reading books and listening to CDs.
Yeah, there you go. I like that. Old school. All right, let's look at Friday. Okay, Friday we have the Page of Pentacles. I like this because the pages are young people. They're messengers. They are apprentices. They're very inquisitive. Okay, and when we see the Page of Pentacles, this could be a message of a new opportunity, an offer. This could be a message that you just need to really evaluate what's going on in your physical life. Like learn about how you are, what are you putting in your body? What are you reading? What's your surrounding, what you're living in? Do you have it cluttered up? Does it need to be cleared out? Is there a new skill that you want to learn? This is a great day to begin that, okay? So this is good, fresh, exciting, inquisitive energy, and it's all about learning how to utilize what we have here in this physical world in order to get us to that 10 of Pentacles, right? Because that 10 of Pentacles is that legacy energy. So this is like learning from somebody. Because think about the way the tarot goes. It goes from the Ace of Pentacles to the 10. Then we have the Page, the Knight, and then the Queen and the King, right? So it could be you're learning from somebody who's gone to that 10 of Pentacles. And you're very curious about, okay, well, how can I do this? You become the student. And we always want to learn from people who are actually doing the thing, not just saying they're doing the thing. You have to be very discerning. That's what, this whole 9 year, you guys, has been a wake-up call to a lot of people. And I told y'all from the last year, I told y'all that this year was going to be a year where you had to be very discerning. A lot of things were going to reveal themselves, and they have, right? So you have to be discerning of who you're putting your energy into, and who you're actually learning from. Just like in the business world, like social media business world, there's a lot of people that complain because they're like, I can show you how to go viral on social media or how to build your business on social media. And a lot of them are regurgitating the same information over and over again. That's how they're making their money. Kind of like one of those chain letters or something, or MLM, right? And so you want to make sure the people that you're learning from have actually built something from the ground up, and they have the proof to be able to show you that. That's when you become the apprentice. Does that make sense, y'all? So what do you think?
Like what you said, because I've read somewhere also like the Page of Pentacles can be like a message of assessing new habits, and I think you kind of touched on that very like when you first pulled the card, like the things that we put in our body, and it's kind of like that phrase that I've adopted recently: what you do frequently creates your frequency.
Yeah.
So that's kind of, I think, what stuck out to me the most is that on Friday it could just be this message, whether that's intuitive or someone that you're talking to, that if you want to move forward in a specific way, you're going to have to adjust your habits. You're going to have to adjust your physical reality to make sure that it mirrors what the person that you're wanting to be, your higher self, or however you choose to see that, your future self.
Yeah.
Right? Our habits have to mirror that individual.
Yeah, I like that. And plus with it being on Friday, isn't Friday ruled by Venus? And Venus...
Friday is ruled by Venus.
Venus is our self-worth.
It's my birthday. I totally just...
Oh, well, there you go. Happy birthday. Everybody wish Jamie a happy birthday on Friday.
Somebody asked me about my birthday like 2 weeks ago, and I was like, it would have, if it had been a snake, it would have bit me. 'Cause I haven't even been like paying attention to it at all. Like it would have just showed up on Friday, and everybody would have been like, happy birthday.
It goes by so fast. Ugh. Okay, so let's see. And Friday is 10/10 portal day too. Or not, no, that's... Isn't Thursday? What's today?
No, Friday's the 10th.
Is it the 10th? Okay. I was thinking Thursday, or I don't know. I have my days off. Okay, yeah, there you go. 10/10 portal. So I like that. Thank you for bringing that up. So look at my mom. She says, don't ever forget your birthday. That is your day. Spoken like a true Sagittarius. I love it. Okay, let's look at Saturday. Ooh, Saturday. Look, we have the Hierophant. I love this card. Look how beautiful that is. Another major arcana. Okay, so the Hierophant is about, this is connected, the High Priestess is connected to the ethereal world, right? What's beyond the veil. The Hierophant is connected to the 3D world, okay? It is the interpreter. It is the teacher. It is the one you go to for answers, okay? So on Saturday, there could be this opportunity of you to actually really learn from somebody about your spiritual journey. You might get some sort of advice. It can also be a great day for you to commit to that journey, to learning how you can use these spiritual, like the spiritual law, spiritual truths, all of those things, the tools, how you can use them in this world. Does that make sense? Because he's the one that he's like, in the church, it's like you have to go through the priest, and the priest is like, well, God told me, right? Well, you don't have to do that, right? That's why we have the High Priestess, because the High Priestess is like, no, you can connect. You just have to do it through the proper heart space. You have to be aligned, and that's where you're going to get beyond the veil. That's how you're going to find the truth. Here with the Hierophant, he's the one who's willing to teach you these things, but you have to be like uber committed to that journey, right? Because at the feet of the Hierophant are the keys of knowledge, okay? And you see the two, what they call them, acolytes, whatever, the two students there that are willing to learn, and they're like bowing down, and he's above them, showing that, he knows more than they do, right? So this on Saturday is a great day to learn something new, to commit to this maybe mentorship, whatever it may be. It could be maybe that you're committing to a relationship. Maybe somebody is going to get married on Saturday, because again, the preacher has to bless the marriage and, make it official, right? So there's such great energy on Saturday for that commitment. And, I like it. I like this card because it shows like the enlightenment journey, right? We're all going up to this enlightenment, and it has such beautiful, like, sacred geometry here. And the Hierophant is number 5. So 5 is movement. 5 is a very pivotal moment in your life. 5 is like having that aha, like, okay, I've got to get my butt moving. I got to make some changes. I'm going to go like a completely different direction and actually listen for once so I can actually experience something good, So what do you think?
Saturday is ruled by Saturn, and the Hierophant governs like lessons, like spiritual lessons, and being that teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what Saturn is. You know what I mean? Saturn is commitment. Like you were talking about being committed. Saturn is that commitment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it could be asking, are you learning maybe it feels like learning what this commitment to change is actually going to entail.
Yeah.
And not just focusing on that larger picture that I'm going to manifest this. And it's like, okay, that's great. But what comes between now and then?
Yeah. What are you going to do about it?
It's not going to just like poof in your face like we all wished it would.
Yeah.
But no, like you have to build up to that. You have to commit, because the divine is not going to give you something if you're not ready and prepared to hold it. Yeah. You have to be the container for which you hold what it is that you want. And if your mind, your body, your spirit's not prepared to do that manifestation, it might come in, but it's not going to be sustained.
Yeah, exactly. It's like being a parent to a child and trusting the child to hold something valuable. And they have to show that they can, first sit down and hold it and let's see. Can you sit still? Can you sit down and hold it and not break it? Now, can you stand up and hold it? Not, yeah, exactly what you're saying. It's like, can you be trusted with this? Because most people can't, because most people are trying to bypass everything. And that's what drives me crazy about what we see all over social media is like bypass, life hack, spiritual hack. Like, no, there's no hacks or you're going to be a hack,
I like that.
Thanks.
No hacks or you're going to be a hack.
Write that down.
Yeah, put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah. But that's the problem, like everybody wants that quick fix. Everybody wants that magic pill. Everybody wants that manifestation just to drop into their lap. And Saturn's like, if you don't do the work, you're not getting shit. So you got to prove that you're actually going to handle this properly, that you're going to really do what is necessary to actually get it and maintain it. But because if you're not, there it goes. And then you're right back to square one. So, yeah.
And I like on Friday, we have the Page of Pentacles, which is like you said, it's a message of an opportunity, but the page is also an apprentice followed by this theme of commitment. And like you said, being trusted. It could be that like we receive a message, some of us receive a message of like, hey, I would like to take you on. I want to teach you these things, but I need to know that you're committed. You have to be committed. You have to be trustworthy. Yeah. Like you have to be able to kind of uphold this, because that's kind of how I see the like you said, the traditional card, the traditional Rider-Waite, the Hierophant is sitting there with these two acolytes and he's passing this knowledge on, and there are some spiritual practices or like esoteric knowledge that you have that I don't want to say closed practice, but it's just something that if you really want to hold this, you have to be committed to it. Yeah. And you have to show your willingness to commit to it.
Yeah, that's the same thing as learning tarot. It's like people are always like, I'm so confused. I'm struggling to learn it. Blah blah blah. It's like you have to be so committed to this process, otherwise it's not going to work for you. Because if you're not committed to tarot, tarot's not committed to you. It's an exchange energy. And that's why, for my inner circle, when we go through 2026 together, it's like you have to show me you're committed to this journey in order to be part of this group. If you want to be my one-on-one VIP student and I teach you tarot and all these things one-on-one, you have to prove to me, we're going to meet, and you have to prove to me that you are committed to this, because if you're not, I'm out. Like, you're wasting my time, right? So that's how it is with anything that you're learning in life or you're participating in life. It's like, if you're not committed to it, if you're not all in, then you can expect to get, like subpar results, if any. So the more you commit to something, the more you can commit to yourself and your journey, the more you're going to see results, period. I mean, again, even athletes know this. So yeah. All right, Sunday, we have the Wheel of Fortune in reverse. So we have 3 major arcana showing up this week, not surprising, with the full moon, right? This is the harvest moon, okay? So when the Wheel of Fortune is in reverse, it can literally just indicate that there is a delay in some plans that you have. I'll be traveling back home, so this is not like looking fun to me, but it's okay. A delay in plans, there could be something, it's not the right time for you to jump into something, or there could be some sort of like cog in your internal wheel, right? Because this card right here has a very deep meaning to it. And it's telling you that if you're not aligned to the thing or the experience internally, you will not see that happen externally, right? There's that cog, because it could be like the doubt, it can be the negative patterns, the whatever you've got going on, right? And it's keeping that wheel from spinning. So it's not the best time to try to make major moves on Sunday. It would be better on like Friday or Saturday, or today or Tuesday. Okay. Smaller moves on Wednesday. Thursday, I would just kind of like chill. I would just chill. Like,
just don't bother.
Yeah, just know the mind is kind of going a little, and just like breathe and just go ground your energy. And like you said, you know, kind of take a break from social media and all that. But yeah, Sunday is just maybe a good time for you to kind of practice surrender. Let things happen, what need to happen. Focus on, what am I aligned to? What am I believing in over what I actually want to manifest? Because that's a big thing people miss. It's like, what do I actually believe versus what am I telling myself that I believe? So we gotta put things into motion that help to change that subconscious pattern that we keep repeating. So yeah, what do you think?
I like immediately when I saw that, and again with like we were talking about Saturn, there's this, and even with Mars, there's this theme of control. The wheel in reverse, you don't get to choose how, when, and where this wheel stops. That's not how it works. Yep. But all you can do, what you can control, is your commitment to what it is that you're wanting to do. That is something that is actually within your control. So it may be that Sunday there's just this focus that becomes that block that prevents that energy from flowing nicely and prevents that wheel from moving forward, is that you're white knuckling that steering wheel, and
yeah, gotta have a Jesus take the wheel moment.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and just focus on the things that you can control. You know, like just those baby steps to whatever journey it is you're on, whatever life you're trying to create. Those baby steps of the things that you can control is where the focus actually should be.
Yeah, and I agree, because underneath the deck is we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse. She definitely tries to control this material world because she's afraid. She feels like she has to do it all, otherwise it's not going to be right. And sometimes she can really just not take any type of control, and she thinks everything's supposed to happen for her, and then she wants to complain. So yeah, and right behind us here we have the World in reverse. It's like we got to learn that lesson that we're not always in control. We can plant the seeds, we can do the work. There are still lessons that we're always going to be learning, experiences that we're always going to be going through. It's part of life. And if we try to control everything, just like in your Aries reading, I was like, ma'am, I need you to stop calling out Aries about trying to control everything. But it's true. Like, people love to control, especially Aries, because we're that cardinal sign. We're like, let me show you how it's done and whatever. But it's a life lesson for all of us, because the control shows up in different ways, right? People pleasing is control.
Exactly.
People don't like it when I say that, but people pleasing is control, because you're trying to control that person's perception of you. And it's not good. Being domineering is control. We know that, right? But like I said, there's covert ways where control can show up. Telling me, well, I'm just a single mom and I can't do this and this, I can't afford it. And that you're trying to control the situation by manipulating my emotions. It's not going to work, right? So look at how you are trying to control the world around you instead of what's going on within you. And a lot of people don't like that because it's very uncomfortable. So.
Absolutely. And the thing, and the whole, like, the week starts off with the Empress. The Empress is about flow, being receptive. She is that Venus energy. She is that feminine energy. Well, then that's going to be countered by this Mars energy. Mars is control by force.
Yeah.
I'm going to force this to happen. And that's not, and these two opposing energies, this Aries Libra energy, it's this polarity where we have to be able to, again, be receptive while maintaining a sense of control. I cannot control, we can't control how many people like our stuff on social media. We can't control that. We can do the hashtags, we can do the captions, we can do the hooks, we can do, those are the things we can control, but at the end of the day, we can't, right? And that's just an example.
Yeah.
But there are things that are within our control. And I think when we focus on the smaller things that are within our control, especially when it comes to being committed to a particular type of journey, then you allow yourself to maybe maintain that sense of control somehow while simultaneously letting go of the bigger things. I can't control the overall outcome of this energy. I can't control how other people perceive me, how they react, their emotions. All I can do is control the things that I can control. So that might be a nice way for people to find balance this week. Focus on the little things that you can control, but let all the bigger stuff, let it all go.
Yeah, I agree. Here I pulled Rest and Rejuvenation in reverse, and I'll read this to you. It's number 19. So let's see. Okay. When the Rest card is reversed, it can portend a time of bustling activity and seemingly unending business. You may be required to take more action concerning a project or situation. Allow yourself to do what's needed, but always remember to schedule some leisure time for yourself. When you hurry through life without a break, it fragments your energy and creates an abrasive life force, causing potential frustration in all sorts of ways. Be careful not to let endless tasks take you away from yourself. The have-to items on your list may be calling you, but this card reversed is telling you, take time to meditate, rest, and relax. So yeah, lots of strong energy this week, and it could be maybe Wednesday and Thursdays where you start to feel that burnout. You know, you're like, okay, I need to definitely take time to rest and restore my energy because it's a lot. I constantly have to remind myself of that. It's like, take a break.
I do too. I do too. I'm an Aries moon, and it sits like between my 5th and my 6th house. So like my day to day, like it's very natural for me to just be like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Like it's just I'm ticking off boxes. But as we know with Aries energy, it can get bored and burn out very quickly.
Yeah, that's
Aries
one of my
energy
things.
is like a firecracker.
Yeah. Oh, it's so true. That's how I was able to create those courses within that week or a few days, because I was like, I've got the energy, here we go, and boom, created them all. So if you're just watching this, I do have my free Tarot Foundations course that you can take, and it's YouTube is down in the description, TikTok is linked in the bio, and I also created the Fool's Journey, which is a hidden map within the tarot that will reveal to you where you are in your life, in every area of your life. And it's eye-opening. People are loving it, and that makes me so happy.
I can't wait to get started on that.
Yeah.
I cannot wait to get after the full moon, like, and after, because Monday is like my content day.
Yeah.
So
nice.
Yeah, after, like, I can't wait. It's on my to-do list.
Nice. Yeah, because there's a whole workbook, you guys, that I created that walks you through the whole thing. So I try to make it as easy as possible, because I know if things are too complicated for me, I'm out. Right? So there's video instruction, and there's a workbook that goes through it with you. So yeah. Ooh, I love this, the Bone Collector. This is such a cool card. I love the message of the Bone Collector. So let me read this to you. And I have another surprise, you guys. Not this week, but starting next week, we're going back to Mondays and Fridays, live Tarotscopes. And Jamie's going to be joining us every time that she can. So yes, we will be going back to Monday and Friday. I needed a break for a little while, Now we're back on schedule. Just like, you know, rest and rejuvenation. I needed to take a break because sometimes you guys, I know like it seems so easy. Like even my boys joke with me because they're like, oh, there you are sitting at home again. I'm like, you have no idea how much work I'm doing or that I've just done.
Exactly.
You know, and they're always teasing me, but hang on, I gotta verify myself. But it becomes oh, come on. Stupid.
I think a lot of people have that misconception about creators.
Yeah, it's
Is that
exhausting.
it's very, very challenging because not only are you like, you're putting in a lot of energy, you're putting in a lot of effort into content creation, but you're also having to try and keep up with something that is consistently ever evolving.
Yes, the goalpost is always moving.
It's always moving. The algorithm is always shifting. Trends are always, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it's so much energy, and like I always tell people, I'm like, you have no idea.
It's
you really
highly
have
stressful.
No idea.
Yeah.
The energy and the amount of effort, how much of our personal resources, because resources doesn't have to just be money.
Yeah.
It's our time, it's our energy, it's our effort. Those are
your creativity, all of that. Yeah.
Our creativity, all of it that we put into something.
And then you spend all this time, energy, and effort into like one video, and then it flops, and you just deflate, and you're like, God bless, you know, man, I thought that was gonna be a good one.
I did that last night. I did that last night. I had this like inspiration because I had recently been watching this movie, and I was like, "Ooh, that's perfect for the full moon," and like I put it out there, and it was just like.
I know it's such a thing, and I know a lot of people that don't get it. They're like, "Oh, poor beautiful me, social media influencer." Da, da, da. It's like, no, it's highly stressful, you know, because it's not just, you know, we're not selling products on TikTok Shop. We are, you know, providing a service, and it's a very in our niche, it is very saturated with toxic spirituality. So you have to be the ones that stand out, be like, hey, no, this is actual, like the truth here. If you want to know how to actually do this, let me show you. Then you have all the trolls, here they come. And so it's like, it pulls at your energy, and it's a lot. And it's like, you know what, sometimes you have to turn it off and walk away. So yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so let's read the Bone Collector. Oh, hang on, there was a couple of messages. Everybody on YouTube is excited. So looking forward to that. I've been really hoping for it to come back. It's so revolutionary. You have to do the full journey. Pam is saying it's so revolutionary. You have to do the fool's journey. If you struggle, it will connect all the dots. Oh, I love that, Pam. Marlo says, wow, so crazy. I even thought, today is Friday. I could really use Erica. Aw. Well, I will be here not this Friday, but starting next week, will be Mondays and Fridays again, because I'll be out of town this Friday. But yeah. Okay, so let's read the Bone Collector right quick, because we're going kind of a little bit long. It says, you are whole and have everything you need within. When the Bone Collector appears, she is asking you to look closely at your circumstances to see if you're fully present or reacting out of past conditioning and unconscious expectations. Whenever we're wounded, especially when we're young, it's as if something essential is stolen from us. We adapt and accept a version of the truth that then sets us up to behave a certain way in the future when faced with a situation similar to the original event. What we know about ourselves thus becomes influenced by a perception of limitation. You may feel unworthy or without courage. You may see yourself as flawed or unlovable, or expect to be criticized. The Bone Collector reminds you that the truth is that you are a powerful being with limitless possibilities. She has kept safe what was stolen from you in the wounding and is here for you as you reclaim it now. You have everything you believe you lack, and the Bone Collector is your inner resource. Act as if you have what you need, and you'll find you have it after all. Anything is possible. With awareness, the wounds of the past need not define you. Does that not sound like this card? Sitting here telling you this is your journey. You have everything that you need. You decide. It's always been there. Kind of like Dorothy, you know, she had the power all along and she just didn't realize it. That's what that whole story is telling you. It's like you have the power. You're meeting all of those energies that you hold within. And it's just that realization that you have the power. And when you realize that and you address the things of the past that created these blocks and you dissect them and dissolve them, like deconstruct them, then everything starts to shift. So I love it. And it's a 1. Hello, Aries energy and fiery energy, masculine energy. Okay, let's get our crystal of the week.
And it's a good card, too, to get on this full moon.
Mm-hmm.
When full moons are a time of illumination, that can lead to a release.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So this is a great night to write down the things that, whatever it is, especially with Mercury also being in Scorpio, really doing that inner work and saying, like, okay, this is what I'm afraid of. This is what, you know, these are the things that prevent me from being bold and courageous and brave. You know what I mean? These are the things that prevent me from stepping forward really into that Aries energy.
Yeah.
And so this is a perfect time, especially tonight with the full moon, to do that shadow work.
Yeah. And especially with it being in a fire sign, you can burn it safely. Be safe. Don't be dumb, please. Okay. So I hope I can pronounce this correctly. Chrysocolla. Communication, empathy, and balance. That's our crystal of the week. It says, Chrysocolla soothes your soul, encouraging heartfelt communication and emotional healing. Accept its gentle energy to express your truth with compassion and find peace within yourself and your relationships. Love it.
How perfect is
that? Her cards immediately connected the first time I started using them. And they're amazing. They're so pretty. So if y'all like that deck, it's not on Amazon or anything like that. I do have it listed, YouTube in the description, TikTok, it's linked to my bio. This is created by Denise. She's one of my students, and she's here, Drazeked in. And yeah, love her. Okay, we got to do the Kipper deck. We can't not do the Kipper deck.
And thinking about that card, you know what I mean? I was talking about relationships and stuff and balance, and that's a very Libra thing. And a lot of people, again, think that you have to balance between the two. I have to be bold and courageous. I have to be about me, or I have to be about other people. And it's like, no, actually, sometimes the best way to maintain balance and harmony is to speak your truth.
Yeah.
Sometimes the best way to maintain that balance and harmony is to advocate for yourself.
Yeah.
Is to stand up for yourself and your wants and your needs and your desires, and to really be that warrior for you.
Yeah. Because that's the thing. If you're waiting on someone else to stand up for you and to advocate for you, you're going to be waiting forever, and you're going to be so disappointed. I've had to learn that. Like, I had to be my own advocate, and it's not easy. It's not fun, but at least you can always be there for yourself, you know? And then if other people stand in and say something great, you know, they support you, they defend you, whatever it may be. But it's like, you have to be your own advocate. You know, if you want opportunities, you got to get yourself out there and show people that you're available and you can do the job or whatever it may be. Look at that. We have imprisonment. Where are you keeping yourself stuck? Okay. Where are you holding back? So it's number 2 and 9. So 2 is that feminine energy. It's that receptive energy. It's also about balance, which Libra is about balance. 9 is higher wisdom. Okay. When we bring them together, it is 11. 11 is a master number. It is the philosopher. It's like, okay, why am I doing this? How can I break out of this? What is the pattern here, and what patterns can I create in order for me to break out, right? And I love this because it's got this little mouse here, right there. And the little mouse is like, you know, like, what can I do? Like, what are you doing in there? You know, how can I help you to get out? and it's like the universe asking, how can I help you? And you have to tell it, well, this is what I need. This is what needs to change. And now it's 11:11 here. So that works out. But yeah, how are you keeping yourself stuck? Also, watch your driving on Sunday, because you don't want to get a ticket and get pulled over. On Thursday, watch your mouth. You might witness somebody getting arrested. So just be aware, right? Don't get involved in, like, don't get yourself in trouble. Just letting you know. Let's do the money deck. Let's see what our money message is.
And with Mercury being in Scorpio, be mindful of your words, because the idea that words can cut deep is very Mercury and Scorpio coded.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because Scorpio, when it speaks, it's a fixed sign. It can be very matter of fact, and it can be, again, Scorpio is an energy that sees beneath the surface and will cut right to the truth.
Yeah.
So just be mindful. Your words just may come off a little sharper or more intense than maybe what you intend.
Yeah. I like that. And words are spells, you know, words create. So if you're speaking all this negativity, then guess what you're creating? Okay, here we have our money message for the week is networker. It says, it may be time to create or reach out to your network of people who will help you. Number 2, consider a career in marketing, promoting, sales, or any professional networking job. And 3, make the most out of the resources you have to improve your finances. We were just talking about social media and everything. But and also I was talking about how, like, if you want something to happen, you have to get out there and network. You have to put yourself out there. That's how I've gotten all these opportunities, by being on live, honestly, and sharing my knowledge and doing these Tarotscopes. I've been doing them for years, and people have come across them and they're like, hey, I want to work with you. I want, you know, what do you think about teaching this? Yeah, found all my gals. So amazing things will happen when you put yourself out there. But you have to first put yourself out there. Can't be afraid, or you'll never get anywhere. Was that fortune favors the bold or the brave, or all those things? Let's get one more, and then we'll do the rebel deck. Good old rebel deck. All right. What else do we need to know this week? What is our message for this week? All in all, honestly, it's really good, supportive energy. It's like there's a couple of days where it's like, hey, just kind of lay back and relax and just surrender.
Yeah.
Okay, it says desert of isolation. Traverse the desolate spaces of solitude to uncover reflections and resilient survival. Embrace solitude. Reflect deeply for survival. Keep your mind open as answers reveal lessons in the quiet of introspection. That's great for a full moon, to go within, to reflect, and to see what is revealed. And you learn a lot about yourself when you're on your own. when you're not distracting yourself with social media, TV, music, substances. You learn a lot about yourself. All right, the Rebel deck. If you're easily offended, scroll away, because this deck does not care. Let's see what our Rebel message is for this week. Oh, that one wanted to come out. It says, you are talented and fucking amazing. I have to be careful because YouTube, I don't want to get in trouble on their ads. It says, the world needs your voice, needs your power. Use your voice. Just don't use it for dumb shit.
I mean, how perfect is that for that Aries?
Yeah.
How perfect is that?
I'm telling you, you are talented and amazing. And you are, you guys. No matter who's listening to this, you are. You have unique abilities that others don't have. You have your own way of doing things or seeing things that you can share with the world. And it's telling you, use your voice, like we were just talking about, the way you're speaking Either you're going to cut somebody or you're speaking negativity, which is doing spell work. But you can speak positively into whatever it is that you want. Speak into your water, speak into your life, speak into your friends and family and anybody else on social media, right? Like use it for goodness and you will get goodness in return. So I like it. Thanks for being with me. This is fun.
Thank you for inviting me. Yeah.
So, all right, ladies and gents, I will not be on this Friday, but starting next week, we'll be doing Mondays and Fridays again, the Tarotscopes. Hang on. Mercury and Scorpio is for one specific day to watch your words. They're asking.
No, Mercury in Scorpio is actually going to be, it's about a 2-week transit. Mercury moves into Sagittarius at the end of the month. Mm-hmm. So this is something that's going to last for a couple of weeks. So you just want to be mindful about how you conversate with people. It's a good time. It's a good transit to really allow your thoughts to go that deep. People are like, it's not that deep. It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I hate that saying. It's not that deep. It's like, okay, let me bypass again. It's not that deep. Let me gaslight you. Yeah, it is that deep. Yeah.
Because like Erica was saying, like the card, like the isolation, getting to know yourself. That is perfectly Mercury and Scorpio coded. Mm. You know what I mean? What is it? When they ask me, what can I do to deeper my connection? Get to know yourself.
Yep.
Because if we are extensions of that divine existence, if we are extensions, know thyself.
Mm-hmm.
Know thyself. And you will deepen that connection. Right? So this is a beautiful transit to really do that.
Yeah.
Just, be careful with how you use your words.
Yeah. And the more you know yourself, the less you take people's attacks or judgments personally. Because well, that's not me, so they must be talking about themselves or whatever projection they're putting out there. And when you know yourself, you love yourself, you nurture yourself, like you start to set healthy boundaries, you start to only say yes to the things that align with you, and you say no to the things that don't. I mean, it's a magical place to be. It's such a release when you know yourself. Like you go over, like for everybody in my tribe, you have that workbook. You have your core beliefs. You have your check-in of where you are in every area of your life. You have all of that self-reflection work that you can do in order to get to know yourself better. We talk about knowing your numerology, knowing your astrology, knowing your human design, study yourself, fall in love with yourself, because that's the person you're going to spend the rest of your life with. So why not? And you're the one making all the decisions, so you might want to know who you're hanging out with. So yeah.
Exactly. And when we step in, when we do that work, we are less affected by the things around us. We become actually more sovereign, and we become more empowered, because all of our energy, it's more solidified.
Yeah.
I just imagine like this astral body with this solid core center.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like who you are becomes more solidified. And the more that is solidified, the less likely you are to be influenced by negative people at work. The less likely you are to be influenced by a bad relationship or unhealthy family connections, social media. The less likely you are to be affected by those things to a very personal extent.
Yeah.
You become more sovereign.
Absolutely. And it just doesn't affect you because you're like, yeah, that doesn't resonate with me. And you start to see things from a mile away and you're like, yeah, no, it's not working for me. So yeah, knowing yourself makes things easier.
I made a post the other day that like people who get to know their own darkness are more likely to see the darkness within others.
Mm-hmm.
Because we look at it, we study it, and we're like, okay. So it's like the more, because I was thinking something like people shun away, kind of like what you were saying. You did it you put yourself out there in that mom group, and then people are like, oh, that's witchcraft. It's demonic. It's this and it's that, and it's like, I think that people who do that, they see they project the darkness in others because they don't know the darkness within themselves.
Yeah.
They refuse to acknowledge it.
Yeah. It scares the crap out of them. So that's why they call everything demons. Everything's demons. Demons, demons, demons. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Good luck. Like, I feel sorry for them because I couldn't imagine being in that much fear throughout my entire life. That's not a fun place to be, right? But the more we've talked about this before, it's like if you're afraid of something, learn about it and you won't be afraid anymore. Knowledge is power. It really is. So first start with yourself because it'll bring you into your authentic vibration. And when you're in your authentic vibration, you are high vibing. And things will start to be magnetically attracted to you. But you can't hack your way through it, like I said, or you'll be a hack. So it's good morning. I just subscribed to your channel. Oh, welcome. I'm glad you're here. So, all right. I hope you all have a wonderful week. Thank you, Jamie, for helping me out. And I will see you all next Monday, 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. We're going to go through Monday through Thursday. And then on Friday, we'll go through Friday through Sunday. Okay. We're going back to where we were before because I don't know. I enjoy doing these. I think they're great. And yeah, they're fun. So hope you all have a wonderful week and weekend. And if you need anything else, get into the free Tarot Foundations course. It's absolutely free. If you want to uncover the map where you are on your map, get into the Fool's Journey, okay? And if you're wanting to learn, you want to get into the Fool's Journey, you want to learn tarot and everything else, then you get into the tribe, okay? But you can first test out my teaching style, make sure you like it and resonate with it, and start with the free module, okay? So, all right, y'all have a wonderful week. Bye, Jamie. Thank you so much. And I'll see y'all on Monday. Love y'all. Mean it.
Bye.